Let's discuss Kafka. In microservices environment, microservices communicate asynchronously with the help of messaging services which is ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ or Kafka. Today's topic is Kafka. How Kafka works. A producer pushes message into a topic. Each message has key, value and metadata. Key is used for partitioning and value is the actual data which contains order ID, status, etc. And last one is metadata. Metadata which contains timestamp, headers, etc. A topic split into partitions. Kafka uses the key which is unique offset to decide which partition a message goes to. If no key is provided, messages are usually distributed in round robin fashion. Each partition is an ordered log of messages where every message has a unique offset. A partition resides in a broker. A broker can host multiple partitions. One partition has a leader broker for writes or reads and optional replica brokers for fault tolerance. A broker is part of cluster. A cluster has multiple brokers. Topics and partitions are distributed across brokers for scalability and redundancy. Let's discuss Zookeeper. Zookeeper in earlier Kafka cluster depends on Zookeeper to keep track of brokers, leader election and metadata. Consumer offset were also stored in Zookeeper. In modern Kafka, since version 2.8, it will not use Zookeeper. Consumer offsets are now stored in internal Kafka topic called as consumer underscore offsets. Zookeeper is no longer used for offsets. And in modern versions, as I said, since Kafka version 2.8, it can even removed entirely with the help of Kraft mode. Consumers register their offsets to Kafka itself, not Zookeeper in the latest Kafka version. A consumer group is a collection of consumers working together to read a topic's partitions in parallel. Each partition is consumed by exactly one consumer within a group, and Kafka manages offsets per group for fault tolerance and independent reads. Let's create Spring Boot application to test our Kafka service. So go to initializer, so let's have Maven dependency and Spring Boot version 3.5 and JDK version 17. Let's add dependencies, web dependencies, Spring Web, and another dependency we need is Kafka, Apache Kafka dependency. So let's create project name as Kafka util. Package is tutor.pack. Let's generate open folder, download folder and unzip. Go to Eclipse, import as a Maven project, existing Maven project, browse, go to downloads, Kafka util, finish. In this Kafka util, go to resources folder, create a file called as application.yml, application.yml, let's have Kafka properties. So we need consumer and producer Kafka properties. As part of producer, key serializer and value serializer are the properties for producer, and for consumer, key deserializer and value deserializer, and group ID. Group ID is demo group, and it runs on Kafka runs on port 9092. So these are the properties we need as part of Kafka configuration to produce and consume messages from Kafka. So let's create a package called as service. In this, create a class called as producer service. Make this class as service. Private string final topic, that is name of the topic is so I will give demo topic, and private Kafka template, let's auto wire Kafka template. Just we need the Kafka configuration, that is the in application.yml, and directly bind it will create a Kafka template as a bean, so we need to wire that bean and public produce string message Kafka template dot send topic comma message. So this is part of the produce. Okay, let's have one more service, that is consumer service. Make this class also of type service. Create a method void consume string message, so which is of type Kafka listener. Kafka Kafka listener. So we have to give topics, demo topic and group ID. Demo group. Let's create a list of messages. Whenever we consume message, we add into the list. So let's write a method to get all the messages in which we consume. So these are the services we have written. Now create controller. Kafka controller. So make this class as REST template. REST controller. Request mapping Kafka messages. So let's auto wire both producer and consumer services. Let's annotate with annotation auto-wide for both the services. Let's write post and get endpoint. Request param producer service dot produce message and return message sent make this as post mapping. Similarly, write endpoint to consume messages from the Kafka. Series of step list of string consume make says get mapping so we have written service for producing and consuming. So first we have to define the properties for Kafka, and we have to create a service for producer and consumer, and we have given a name for demo topic, name of the topic, and similarly in the consumer service we are going to read messages from the demo topic and we are returning when we call the get endpoint. So this is a Spring Boot application which produce and consume the messages from Kafka. So let's test our controller endpoints, that is post endpoint, that is to produce a message whatever you are passing as a request parameter, that is message. And once we produce messages into Kafka, so by using get mapping consume service, we can consume the messages in which we have produced. So for this basically we need to download a Kafka. I'm downloading 3.2.1 version of Kafka. So let's download and unzip the folder. So I have downloaded into software folder, that is Kafka 3.2.1, and I have unzipped. So this is a unzipped folder. Now after downloading and unzipping Kafka, let's run Kafka. Before running Kafka, we have to run the zookeeper. So we have to run the batch file, that is a zookeeper server.batch. So we have to pass zookeeper properties as a argument, that is mm, while running zookeeper server dot start dot batch. So let's run that command. Okay, zookeeper is starting. Let's run Kafka server batch file and again pass server.properties. These properties file will be under config folder. Open another command prompt and run the Kafka. So Kafka server is running at port number 9092. Once we run zookeeper and Kafka server, let's create a topic. So we have to create a topic by name demo topic. So in the server in which the server is running at 9092, and we have to give some partition related information. So again open another command prompt, and I think it is already created. Demo topic is already created, so leave it. Now once we run the zookeeper and Kafka server, let's start our application, that is Spring Boot application. So application is running at port number 8080. Port number 8080. Now we'll test our endpoint. So for testing endpoint, so let's run this curl command to test the endpoint. Now message is posted. Similarly, let's run the get endpoint. Here post already I ran, so with the endpoint Kafka / messages post mapping, so I am passing as a message as a parameter. So whatever parameter message I am passing as a parameter, I am sending as a argument, the message as an argument to the Kafka topic. So now run the get URL curl -x get, copy this, got it. So this is how we have to produce and we have to consume the messages using Kafka. Thank you.